What if I told you that the best financial strategy you could ever adopt is to look poor? Not to be poor, but to look poor. To dress in thrifted clothes, drive an old car, and live beneath your means so completely that nobody around you would ever suspect you're building real wealth. This isn't about deprivation or lacking style. This is about something far more powerful: invisibility. If you're ready to discover why looking poor might be the smartest money move you'll ever make, subscribe to this channel and let's dive in. The wealthy have a secret that most people never figure out. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And the fastest way to keep more money is to stop spending it on things designed to broadcast that you have it in the first place. Think about it. Designer logos, luxury cars, expensive watches, high-end restaurants. What do all of these have in common? They're signals. They're designed to announce to the world that you have money. But here's the thing. Every dollar you spend on these signals is a dollar that stops compounding, stops growing, and stops working for your future. When you choose to look poor, you're making a radical decision. You're saying no to the pressure to display your wealth and yes to actually accumulating it. A person wearing a plain gray hoodie and thrifted jeans might be worth 10 times more than someone in a designer outfit, but nobody would ever know. That's the magic. That's the power. The world can't tax what it doesn't see. It can't envy what it doesn't notice. It can't target you with schemes if you don't appear to be a target worth targeting. Consider the psychology of wealth visibility. People who flash their money are signaling something, whether they mean to or not. They're saying, "Look at me, I have resources." And what happens when people think you have resources? They want some. Distant relatives call. Friends suddenly need loans. Salespeople smell blood in the water. Scammers take notice. When you look poor, you fly under the radar. You're invisible to all of these pressures and predators. You can actually build wealth in peace. But the financial benefit goes even deeper. Let's talk about compound interest in time. Every single dollar you don't spend today is a dollar that could be invested. That dollar could earn returns. Those returns could earn their own returns. Over decades, this compounds into something extraordinary. When you spend $2,000 on a luxury handbag that depreciates immediately, you're not just losing $2,000. You're losing the decades of compound growth on that $2,000. At 7% annual returns over 30 years, that handbag costs you over $14,000 in future wealth. That's the real price of looking rich. Looking poor forces you into intentionality. When you're wearing thrifted clothes, you can't mindlessly shop. When you're driving a used Toyota, you can't impulse buy the latest model. When you're eating home-cooked rice and vegetables instead of dining at expensive restaurants, you have to plan your meals. This intentionality extends to every financial decision. You become aware of what you're spending. You become conscious of waste. And consciousness is the enemy of poor financial decisions. There's also something deeply freeing about not being enslaved to appearance. Think about how much mental energy the average person spends worrying about their image. Will people judge my clothes? Is my car nice enough? Am I wearing the right brands? These thoughts are exhausting. They're a form of slavery. When you let go of the need to impress through appearance, you reclaim that mental space. You get your power back. You get to spend your energy on things that actually matter. Building skills, strengthening relationships, creating real value in the world. The rich people you actually admire, the ones with real generational wealth, they understand this. They're not trying to look rich. They wear simple clothes. They drive practical cars. They live in modest homes relative to their wealth. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought decades ago. He drives a modest sedan. He eats breakfast at McDonald's. These aren't signs of stinginess. They're signs of wisdom. They're proof that real wealth isn't about display. It's about discipline. It's about keeping more than you make and letting time do the compounding work. If you've been getting value from this, please like this video. It helps us reach more people who are ready to think differently about money and success. Looking poor also protects you from lifestyle inflation. This is when your spending rises automatically as your income rises. You get a raise, so you buy a nicer car. Your business succeeds, so you upgrade your home. Your investments pay off, so you buy luxury items. Before you know it, all that extra money is gone, and you're back to living paycheck to paycheck, just with more expensive paychecks. When you're committed to looking poor, you've already built a ceiling on your spending. You're already used to thrift stores and home-cooked meals. Suddenly getting more money doesn't change your lifestyle. It changes your bank account. It changes your investments. It changes your future. There's also a social advantage most people miss. When you're not competing on appearance, you stop comparing yourself to others. And when you stop comparing yourself to others, you stop resenting them. You stop feeling inadequate. You stop wanting what they have just because they have it. This peace of mind is invaluable. It's the kind of thing that money can't buy, but giving up the need to spend money on appearance can give you for free. Let me be clear about something though. Looking poor and being poor are completely different things. Looking poor is a choice. It's a strategy. Being poor is a circumstance you're trying to escape. This entire approach assumes you actually have money, you have income, you have choices. If you're genuinely struggling, your first goal is to build that income and create choices for yourself. But once you have choices, once you have resources, looking poor while being rich becomes the most powerful financial strategy available to you. The clothing industry spends billions of dollars trying to convince you that what you wear defines who you are. The automotive industry spends billions trying to convince you that your car is a status symbol. The luxury goods industry exists entirely on the premise that displaying wealth is important. All of this is designed to extract money from you. When you step outside of that system, when you opt out of the appearance game, you're not just making a fashion choice. You're making a rebellion against a system designed to separate you from your money. Imagine this scenario. Two people start with the same job and the same salary. One person buys the luxury clothes, the expensive car, lives in a trendy neighborhood, and eats at high-end restaurants. The other person shops at thrift stores, drives a used car, rents a modest apartment, and cooks at home. Fast forward 20 years. Which one has wealth? Which one has freedom? Which one could take a month off work without panicking? Which one could start a business? Which one could weather a financial emergency? The answer is obvious. It's not because the second person worked harder or was smarter. They just made better choices about what to spend money on. This strategy works because it aligns your external reality with your internal priorities. When you're not trying to impress people with stuff, your priorities shift automatically. You start caring about things that actually matter: your health, your relationships, your knowledge, your skills, your ability to create value. These are the things that actually generate wealth. These are the things that actually generate happiness. Looking poor forces you to invest in these things instead of in status symbols. The beautiful part is that this strategy compounds over time. The longer you live this way, the stronger the habit becomes. The stronger the habit becomes, the easier it is to maintain. The easier it is to maintain, the more wealth you accumulate. And the more wealth you accumulate, the less you need external validation anyway. You reach a point where looking poor isn't a strategy anymore. It's just who you are. It's freedom, it's peace, it's real lasting wealth that nobody can take from you because nobody even knows it exists. So here's my challenge for you. For the next 30 days, commit to looking poor, not spending nothing, just intentionally choosing the modest option, shop secondhand, cook at home, skip the luxury brands, drive what you have, see how it feels, notice how much money you save, notice how your priorities shift, notice how your stress decreases. Then imagine doing this for a year, for 5 years, for a lifetime. That's when the real magic happens. That's when you understand why looking poor is the best financial strategy you'll ever use. If this perspective has shifted how you think about money, please comment below and tell me one specific way you're going to start looking poor this week. Subscribe to the channel for more videos that challenge how you think about wealth, success, and freedom.